Why does this look like a hospital light? I really can't remember the last time I made a decision that really felt like it was 100% coming from me. That feels really weird to say, but I guess it's just the honest truth. A lot of the things that we want, or at least think that we want, kind of stem from our environments, the people we hang around with, our parents, the schools we go to, the content we consume. All that influences what we decide to do with our lives. The environment that I was raised in really determined what I thought I wanted in life. I don't remember the last time that I was meeting someone new and we didn't talk about what we do for work. To me, that just shows how much importance we put on the work we do and how much money we earn, as if that determines who you are. But I feel like I'm so much more than just a job. I'm so much more than what pays my bills. When I stop and think about my life and what do I really want in this life, what do I really want to do with my life, my mind always defaults back to making money, as if my worth is tied to how much money I can make in this life. I grew up around a lot of successful people, a lot of people that have their own businesses, that became entrepreneurs. To this day, I still see that or feel very influenced by that, but I can't really even tell you, to me, in my own words, what it means to be successful. It feels like it's reaching a certain financial status. Once you attain a certain tax bracket, you can quote unquote call yourself successful. But every time I've progressed my finances in life, I never felt really more successful. It feels like every time I interact with people, the concept of money or status or what you do for a living always seems to mesh itself into the conversations that we have. It's kind of hard to reprogram my brain and tell myself that it doesn't really matter how much money you earn. Everything we do seems to revolve around money. I mean, we need to survive and earn a living, right? It feels naive of me to put that idea aside and not really think about the financial implications of anything I do. On this channel, I strive to be as transparent as possible. See, the real reason why I wanted to start this channel was to simply help others. And I feel like I can't do that if I'm not fully transparent. I don't really want to be some sort of mentor or some sort of person that gives other people advice. I want people to see my videos more as a conversation and less as an advice session. See, we're all going through life for the very first time. I'm figuring it out as I go. I don't have all the answers. I really hope that you can gain something from seeing my experience in life. And right now, there's this internal tug of war of what to focus on. What direction should I take with my life? But every time I sit down to reflect about it, it seems very difficult for me to find answers. It feels like the things that I want don't really match with the expectations of society. There's this whole movement on social media about hustle culture. People who isolate themselves, they work 14-hour days, they wake up at 5 a.m., they cold plunge, they meditate. I'm definitely an advocate of having good habits. I just think that, hustle culture might be pushing it a bit too much. It doesn't mean that it might not work for you, but for me personally, I don't feel like it helps me be happier. I don't feel like it helps me become more successful. I do agree that developing good daily habits and developing discipline, developing routine can obviously help you progress in life. Now, do I believe that you need to wake up at 5 a.m., cold plunge, meditate? Maybe. If that works for you and you like that, then sure, maybe. For me personally, it doesn't add much to my day if I wake up at 5 a.m. Do I feel more or less productive? Not really. Honestly, the periods where I get good productive work in varies. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's at night. But the more time I spend on social media, I started having these doubts about my routine, about my habits. Is that why I'm not succeeding? And also, I've just been really confused about what it even means to succeed. When you're online, you see a lot of people's highlight reels. You see a lot of people winning. You fall in the trap of comparing yourself to people you don't even know, and you don't even know what's real, what's not on social media. And I feel like that's a really dangerous and vicious cycle to fall into. If you're at a pivotal point in your life, like I am right now, it becomes really, really confusing to determine what do you really want. Because sometimes the things that you truly want will not align with what you see online, will not align with other people that have achieved some sort of financial success or their daily habits. It won't really align with how they got to where they're at in their lives. And you think you also have to get to where they are at. Even if you're someone who stops and reflects a lot and journals and meditates, it's still confusing. We have so many external influences every single day. As soon as we take our phones and start scrolling, or as soon as we start messaging our friends, we talk on the phones to our family members, it becomes so confusing to just stop and determine what do you want, and does that decision come from you or does it come from people around you? Sometimes it's not a black and white answer. Sometimes there's part of it, maybe 75% comes from other people and a 25 comes from you. It doesn't mean that all your decisions are 100% coming from other people, but I think it's really important to acknowledge that there might be some sort of influence in the things you think you want. All to say, to come back to the point of why I make these videos, I see a lot of people position themselves on YouTube as some sort of mentor, and they kind of tell you kind of what to do with your life and how to do it because they've done it, or maybe sometimes you don't really know if they actually did it, but they've done something with their life. They have certain habits, and then they tell you, you have to do this. And then they tell you, this is how you'll get from point A to point B. And this is how you'll be happy. This is how you'll be fulfilled. But the thing is everyone is so different. So the last thing I want to do is to sit here and tell you what you should be doing with your life. I want these videos to be more of a conversation so we can discuss in the comments, learn from each other. I can only try to present my problems in a relatable way because I know other people probably feel this way. I feel like it's a constant battle every single day to listen to your heart, listen to your values, really determine what you want without listening to what other people want for you. It's a constant battle. I feel like so many people struggle with this every single day, and I still do. Even though I'm very aware and conscious of it, I think about it every single day. It still doesn't make it easy for me to put those opinions, those influences aside and just say, well, I want to do this, so let me go and do that. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's okay to be confused. It's not supposed to be easy. Some people figure it out much quicker than others. I want others to see that from the outside, people could look at you and think your life is all together. They think everything is perfect, but there's a lot of internal struggles that a lot of people don't see, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you being confused. We're not supposed to have all the answers to every problem we have. The first step, I think, is being aware and being intentional. And the more awareness and intention you bring to the problem every single day, I think the clearer things will get for you. I feel like just making this video has helped me gain a bit of clarity on what brings me happiness. These videos bring me a lot of happiness. I feel like I can connect with people. I can share my experience with people. Even if I never earned $1 from making these videos, I would be fulfilled. So I realized that the key is not success, it's fulfillment. I think being fulfilled with whatever you choose to do or however you choose to spend your time will ultimately lead you one step closer to being happy.